Hey everyone, happy Module 9. I had such an amazing time in this class learning all of your guys' cultural experiences, your ideas, your beliefs, and just everything that you enjoy about the countries you're presenting and your own cultures as well. It definitely helped to broaden my horizons and, you know, increase my perspectives on things. So I chose the country of Turkey. I've always been fascinated, especially going through high school. I've always been fascinated with Turkish culture, Turkish history, um, all that. So very excited to show you guys the final product. I had an amazing time researching this country, this whole class. So I hope you guys enjoy. So here's Turkish culture. Turkey's location and influence. Turkey has a rich tradition and it has been a cultural bridge for centuries. It's been used as a land bridge for thousands of years for cultures to pass through. This led to many different ideas to be exchanged and blended together. Now, this is going to be an idea that we're going to see a lot. Turkey is located on the Mediterranean Sea, and its capital city of Istanbul was formerly Constantinople, which was under the control of Emperor Constantine. I'm sure you guys remember hearing about him in history class. Many passed through and traveling to different continents. So if someone was coming down from Europe to share ideas with Asia, or also share religion or share goods, especially for good trading, their chances are they're going to be stopping in Istanbul. This would lead them to show other people their culture, and Istanbul really became a hub for the blending of cultures in this area in the Mediterranean. So it was a really cool place to be, and it still is, where you could see so many different styles of architecture that are blending, and the food was just such a great blend of European and Asian food. Just a really, really strong advantage for Turkey to get so many different perspectives and ideas. You can see this with other countries modern day as well. I know Korea has a similar story where they were kind of a land bridge between China and Japan. So they're a great blend of both cultures. You can see a little bit of both in that. So Turkey is the same way. Europe and Asia kind of blended together in Istanbul to create such a cool culture. Oh, and last slide, I used Turkey by National Geographic. The article is called Turkey. It's listed in the citation list. I'm going to attach that to this document as well. And I also use history.com for an article called Constantinople. Next, we'll be moving on to Turkish politics. Turkey is governed by a democratic parliamentary government. They are presided over by one executive as well as multiple other groups which make up a parliament. Other examples of this governing system are Canada, Japan, and Great Britain. Turkey is a parliamentary government, but it's democratic, so it's cool to see because they were ruled for such a long time by one ruler. They have modernized with the times. They've stayed along with the times, and I think that helped them to achieve a higher status than other countries that have not. So it's definitely cool to see, and it's nice to see that they've modernized. The current president of Turkey is a pro-Islamist political candidate with conservative Western values. I think this is important in also increasing Turkey's likelihood to become a world power, is to keep up with Western culture and values as well. And the last slide was from UK Home Practical Law and tbb.gov. Those are listed in the citation document that will be attached. Next is food of Turkey. Turkish meals are a product of thousands of years of cultural integration and idea exchange. This is another example of the Turkey being a land bridge is so easy for people to bring food, from Asia, from Europe, and then they can kind of blend together and create new recipes and ideas that were really just formed in Turkey. Modern Turkish meals often start with an appetizer or salad that either has vegetables or beans seasoned and prepared. They, of course, they'll still use the food that is native to Turkey for a lot of their meals. For dinner, Turkish people often eat meats, fish, or kebabs. Because Turkey is a Mediterranean country, they do eat lots of fish. I was lucky enough to have Turkish food for the first time a couple years ago, and I've never had anything like it. It's so good. It's a great blend of Middle Eastern and Asian food, as well as European food. I think they did an amazing job at combining the two cultures just enough to have a significant and really authentic taste that you won't really find anywhere else. And for this slide on the document, I used historical background of Turkish gastronomy from ancient times until today. That's listed in slide 4 of the document attached. Next, we'll be moving on to Turkish art. Turkey has years and years of history. It is an extremely old country and has been controlled by many different groups. This has led to different styles and ideas of art throughout its history. Turkey is most well known for its architecture in the category of art. Turkey's architecture is amazing. They're such an old they're such an old country, and Istanbul, formerly Constantinople, was ruled by Emperor Constantine, and the city was just absolutely beautiful. They had so much to do there, and so many amazing monuments and buildings, and although not a huge amount is left from there, there are still some amazing places, amazing things to see. I really hope to get there one day and see all that. They have some of the most amazing cathedrals and churches in the world, and the blend of architecture was just so cool to see. One of my favorites is the Hagia Sophia. It is a modern-day mosque in Istanbul. It was formerly a church built in year 537 AD. It is well known for its beauty and huge size for the time that it was built. The Hagia Sophia was just documented as being one of the most amazing places to ever set foot into, especially when it was built. It still is one of the most amazing places, but right now it's a mosque in Istanbul. It was built so long ago that no one had ever walked into a building that huge. You almost forget you're inside. Those pillars in the top photo, those 4 pillars were not originally there. This was at first a church, and then the pillars were added. They're called minarets. They were added after, and they're part of the Islamic faith. So these past 2 slides I used Hagia Sophia, the history and the building. And that's from Dumbarton Oaks, listed in slide 5 and 6 on the citation list. Next is language. Turkey is a very unified country linguistically. 93% of Turkish people speak Turkish as their first language. There are 2 main dialects in Turkey, Eastern dialect and Western dialect. I think this is a huge advantage that Turkey has. They have amazing flow, though everyone is able to communicate with each other. It helps so much for business, and I think it also helps for communication just in general, but it can be a factor that is negative because a lot of people might not go to Turkey to start businesses and all that if not many people speak their language. So that is one downside, but I think overall it's a positive for Turkey. The second most popular language spoken is Kurmanji, or known as Northern Kudash. It is a dialect of Kurdish and is spoken in parts of Iran, Iraq, Syria, and Turkey. This language, although spoken by many, is the second most popular in Turkey. but it's only spoken by about 2% of the population. So Turkey is a huge unified country when it comes to, language and everyone speaking the same language. And for this, I used Alpha Omega Translations, the four most common languages of Turkey. Next, moving on to Turkish music. Turkish music has a huge blend of different instruments. It has a rich history, and it really has a unique sound. Modernizing that, though, the most popular song in Turkey for 2022 was called Hep Mi Ben. I listened to it. It definitely had a cool blend of modern-day styles and beats with traditional instruments, and I think that's something that they should continue to do because it sounded really cool. It definitely brings pride to anyone listening. Like, hey, this is our tradition, but it's new music. This modern music contains the same traditional instruments that formed their famous sounds, such as the def, bolgana, and saz, and the lute. Even in 2022, with changing styles of music, the Turkish are still able to incorporate their root musical styles in their songs. I think this is super awesome. I think it's really unique when you hear in America a song that contains instruments such like that are old and traditional, but I think it's nice that Turkey continues to use these instruments in a lot of their songs. And for slide 8, I used the top 5 biggest Turkish pop music hits of 2022 and 12 musical Turkish instruments that you should know, listed in slide 8 of the citation document. For Turkish dance, Turkish folk dance is still an extremely popular activity within the country. There are 2 most popular styles of traditional Turkish dance. They're a very sophisticated form of line dancing. The dancers wear bright colors, and the main goal is to excite the crowd. Turkish dance definitely seems to be a great way to carry on tradition for Turkey. I think it's entertaining, and I think it's a great thing to have where you carry on your country's tradition. For this one, I used Folk Dance of Turkey, found in the slide 9 section of the citation document. Technology in Turkey. Turkey was not known as much of a leader in the technology innovation sector. In 2022, Turkey announced the production of the first Turkish-made car. It's an all-electric vehicle and produced by a company called TOG. TOG hopes to build a successful car company that will boost the economy of Turkey. Turkey had actually never, ever made a car before, let alone an electric car. So their goal with this was to create a car that will unify Turkey and, have so many people driving their car. Unfortunately, after conversions, the car is $60,000. So I know there aren't many people who would be able to afford that in Turkey. But I'm sure as they continue to produce, they'll make cheaper cars, or more affordable cars, And, with more production comes lower costs. So I think this is a good start for Turkey. I hope that their car, there's a learning curve with cars. The first one a lot of times is not always the best option. So I think if they continue to push out quality and, make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to, I think that this company could be a great success for Turkey and boost the economy. And for the last one, that was slide 10. Turkey launches the TOG car. All these citations can be found in the attached document. Thank you guys so much for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you guys for all the amazing experiences that I've had in this class. Have a wonderful day, and good luck for the rest of your academic careers. I hope to see you guys in classes soon.